Namaste and greetings. My name is Carmen Santosha, and I've been a Reiki master for over 20 years, and I'm super excited to share with you how I use the Reiki symbols and Reiki every day. There are 3 Reiki symbols in Reiki level 2, so those are the ones I'm going to be talking about today. The first is Chokure. Now, Chokure is the power symbol. It brings the focus. It helps you focus your mind and emotions on your intentions. But what it also does is raises the level of vibration of a particular area. So it's a great for psychic shielding. It also protects you on your journey. You're going on a long distance journey. You can use Chokure over your car. You can send Chokure to a dentist appointment. You can send Chokure to a job interview. It can be used for anything you put your mind to where you actually want to change the energy vibrations to your favor. Now, Sei Ki is the one that programs your mind and helps you get rid of those bad habits. Sei Ki is absolutely fantastic to use. And you, in Reiki level 2, we have a technique called Nintatsuho. Now, in Nintatsuho, what we're doing is we're putting our hands on our head with an affirmation, an intention for, with this particular affirmation or intention that you want to transform your life. Particularly designing your life. You're consciously wanting to change your old programs, your old habits, and you're choosing a new way of being. So the idea is that you brainstorm about where you might be feeling stuck in life. Let's say you're procrastinating, or perhaps you're too anxious, or perhaps you're a bit doom and gloom about the world right now, like, you know, happens around the world, especially nowadays. And the idea then is to write down a positive affirmation. Now, with this positive affirmation and the positive mindset, you then use Nintatsuho, and you put your hands on your head in the different positions. And as you're putting your hand on your head, you're saying these affirmations. I am divine love and light. I am always in joy and ease and glory. My heart is filled with love and joy every day. I am abundant in everything I do. I am always motivated towards my project and improving my life. Yeah, you're getting the idea? So the idea is choosing affirmations first that really resonates with where you want to take your life to. And then in Nintatsuho, combined with Chokure and Sei Ki. So you put those two together. See, Chokure helps you bring the focus, the power. So you would do this. Now, your Reiki master, if you're watching this video, you're already Reiki level 2 attuned, and you would have been taught how to use the symbols correctly. So you do that, and then you think about, what do I want to create in life? So for these 2 things, and then you put the Chokure and the Sei Ki together. And then if you do this every day, it builds up on power and intentions. And then what'll happen in your everyday life is that you start to notice your thoughts are starting to be directed in that way. And your feelings and your habits and your patterns are all directed to your goal using this technique. It's very, very powerful and a lot of fun to play with. I definitely encourage you to try it out, you know, because that's, especially if you're into Reiki and you're a big fan of Reiki, you can use it to direct your life in a direction you want it to go. So another thing that you can do with the Reiki symbols that I really find beneficial and have used quite a few times actually, is Honsha Zei Shonen. Now, it's a very long symbol to draw. And but it has the power of long distance. So it can go beyond time and space, and so you can send Reiki to a dentist appointment. So let's say you've got a dentist appointment coming up next Wednesday and you're really nervous, you don't like going to the dentist much, and so you would sit down and you would draw all the symbols, because the power symbol, the focus symbol, brings the power and the focus. Say hey key then brings your say hey key gives you your emotions and feelings, the correct emotions and feelings, so it attends to those, it attends to your emotions and feelings. So you add that into your intentions for a positive dentist appointment, right? So you're bringing peace and joy and serenity and confidence and courage from both you and the dentist. So make sure the dentist is having a good day as well, so that, you know, the fight he had with his wife the night before isn't going to be affecting your dentist appointment. All these things come into factor. It's so true. So you're doing that, and you know, when you walk in the room, he's going to feel this, you know, confidence, this vibe, because you've sent this ahead of time. So say hey key does that part, and then hon shoze shonen is the long distance. It brings you on beyond time and space. Now, interesting to point out that the Reiki symbols are an energy resonance. They're a particular energy vibration. Now, Mikao Usui did not teach the symbols originally, but he was so flexible with his individual students that he did bring the symbols to them if they found a bit confused with about, you know, the sounds, the actual spirit sounds. Now, the spirit sounds are my favorite, and I'm going to do another video on that one today as well, because I love using the spirit sounds because they really resonate with my style. But it's up to you what you feel works best for you, because you are the director of your life. You are the driver of your life, and you can steer your life in whatever direction you want it to go. So you can choose, if the symbols work better for you, then work with the symbols. Now, it's so much fun working with the symbols. My second Reiki master, Don Beckett in Hawaii, he encouraged us to use the symbols in every single day moments. So even when you're driving down the road, you can imagine a big chokore, massive, right in front of you as you're driving down the road. You can use your tongue and make chokore with your tongue on the top of your mouth, like inside. It's just so much fun. You can, you know, my first Reiki master used chokore because she was very psychic, and she felt that her son was going to be in a car accident when he went on his trip. And so she did chokore all over his car, and he did have an accident, but it was very minor, so you can almost guarantee it would have been a lot worse if she hadn't done this extra protection for him. I've used the Reiki with intentions along my journey. It's around Australia. It was a 6-week journey. I was on my own in the middle of the desert, but before I left, I sent my spirit guides to clear the whole journey for me. And there were 2 particular incidences in which I would have been in a lot of trouble if I hadn't cleared the journey first. One particular one was absolutely fascinating. It just like blew my mind, and I'd love to share that with you right now. Is that I was 100 kilometers to the next petrol station. Now, you know, the desert in Australia, there's a lot of kilometers in between petrol stations, and I thought for sure I had enough petrol in the tank, so I didn't stop at the last petrol station, which they say you should stop at every petrol station. And I had done this to this point, so I don't know why I didn't. So I had a long ways to go. I had 1 hour, so maybe it wasn't 100 kilometers. Okay, so 1 hour to go to get to the next town, the next petrol station. And I was getting close to zero, like it was below the quarter point. And I thought, and when I finally realized, I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And I was in a little bit of a panic, so I just pulled over to the next rest stop. And right there was an elderly couple, which we call grey nomads here in Australia, and they were napping at the rest stop. Well, I knocked on their window and I said, "Do you have any petrol, any spare petrol?" And they said, "Yes, of course, dear," and put the petrol in my car. And then I paid them the money and I was on my way within 5-10 minutes. It was solved. And if that wouldn't have happened, I would have been sleeping in the middle of nowhere in the desert in my vehicle. And that's quite dangerous as a single woman traveling through. So that's one thing that I know, that my spirit guides and Reiki just went whoosh. Okay, let's make sure this lines up for her at this particular time. So but I've sent Reiki anywhere, Reiki long distance healing is something that is absolutely fascinating. You know in your heart and your mind that you can send healing, good vibes to anyone around the world who might be struggling right now, using the 3 different symbols, Chokurei, Seihei Ki, and Honsha Zei Shonen. And that is a really, really powerful knowledge to have. It's a really powerful tool to have. So I'm not going to introduce the Reiki symbols in detail in this video because that's something that you need to learn in a Reiki course itself. It's more powerful when you're taught it from your Reiki master. And I highly recommend, I'm going to highly recommend getting yourself Reiki attuned, Reiki initiation. I'm a Reiki master teacher for over 22 years and Reiki has become my best friend. Now the reason why is because I have come to the understanding that Reiki goes a lot deeper than what the Western world knows about Reiki. So Reiki, just like yoga, when it comes to the Western world, it's a lot more watered down than what it is in its original form and its original source, where it comes from. So Reiki is very, very ancient. And the original practice is the path to enlightenment. It's the same as yoga. Yoga in the Western world is about asanas and twisting your body in nice postures, interesting postures, and then showing yourself on Instagram. Now, I was recently in India, and I know my yoga teachers, when I did my yoga teacher training in India, and our yoga teacher training for the Western world is only 30 days, but in India they have 2 years to become a yoga teacher. 2 years, and that only touches the tip of the iceberg of the depth of the Reiki practice, yoga practice. So you can see it is quite in depth. In fact, it's based on the Vedas, yoga is, and it's a path to enlightenment with the 8 limbs of Patanjali, and really focuses on your personal development and your spiritual development and overall raising your level of vibration. Reiki is the same thing. We also focus our minds on positive things. We change our personality. We uplift our energy vibes, and we're really focused on that higher vibrational being, that pure essence, and becoming divine light and merging with divine source and all that other juicy good stuff. So Reiki is absolutely amazing, and I've been teaching it for 22 years. I have a Reiki course online that I do while I work with students one-on-one to ensure that they are raising their level of vibration and understanding the material. I also have a deeper course that's called The Mysteries of a Modern Mystic, and in that course I take you to the depth of what it's like to recognize where your thoughts are coming from. We often have these ruminating thoughts that roll around in our mind, and not all of those thoughts belong to you. And in fact, I'm not sure if any of them do, because a lot of them come from the social constructs, your personal template for this reality, and for living, the rules for living of what it's like to live in a physical body, because you are divine source and you are divine love. You are expanded and infinite, and you are conscious. You're right now living a physical reality, a limited physical reality, just to try it out. So outside of this physical body, you are unlimited. You have so much potential. You can go anywhere, anything. You can tap into anything. And there's so many details on that I can share in other videos. So I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and, come on, because this is where I'm raising the level of vibrations, high vibes on the planet. Reiki is a very powerful practice for this. You can use it for anything. Chokure is the power, the focus symbol, and you can use it to focus your intentions, to focus high vibes in a dark corner of the room, to clear the energy spaces of a particular place, to raise the energy vibes of a dentist appointment coming up, to raise the energy vibes of this job interview you've got coming up. You can use Reiki, well, practically anything, even on the food that you're eating. Reiki, you can even do that to the food you're eating, and it chases the energy vibrations of the food you're eating. Say, hey, key is to reprogramming your mind and to get out of the stuck habits, to stop sabotaging yourself. And it really helps you, especially if you're doing it on an ongoing basis for 21 days. Wow, amazing stuff. And Hanshaze Shonen is the one that does long distance across time and space. And you can use your imagination with that because there's so much potential with it. So, okay, guys, thanks heaps for watching. Very exciting to share this information with you. I use Reiki every day. I don't use the symbols anymore. I use the Kotodama more often, and sometimes I don't use either the symbols or the Kotodama, but I've just gotten to the raw essence and energy of it because I've been practicing it so long. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye.